Greetings, my friends. God bless you. You know, I just wanted to come on here today. You see, when it comes on to the presence of God, my sisters and brothers, my friend, don't play around with it. Don't take it for granted, is a better word. Don't take it for granted. Because you see, in the place of the presence of God, everything becomes so clear. It all starts to make sense. You know, everything. Listen, there is no confusion in the presence of God. Yes, when you go in, you might not feel like it. You might not feel like you want to pray. You might not, but you see, when you choose to stay there, despite the fact that your flesh is telling you no, or you feel like you're not reaching anywhere, you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you feel like he's not there. Let me tell you something. When you choose to stay and when you decide to stay, in spite of all what your flesh is telling you, something marvelous happens, my sisters and brothers. Please, whatever you have to do, every single day, get into the presence of God. As I said to you, it's not about going in and talking to him and telling him your list and all of the things that you want. Make it be about just going there to see what he has to say. And guess what? All you have to do is ask him. Ask him. Get there. Stay there even when it seems hard. And then ask him. Ask him the questions that are burning. Ask him the questions that are, getting you confused. Ask him. He'll tell you. In the place of the presence of God, there is no confusion. Everything becomes so clear to you. You sometimes even have to pinch yourself. Get into the presence of God. Get into the presence of God. That is where you get everything you need. There are so many songs that talk about, I just want you. Lord, take everything. I just want you. And it is just this morning that I really, not just this morning, but just this week actually, like it has all been coming full circle. Because you're probably saying in your heart, do I really just want God? But when it mentions, or when you speak about, I just want you, God, what you're actually saying is that you want him and only what he has for you. So when you only want God, then you only want the spouse that he has for you. When you only want God, then you only want the job that he has for you. When you only want God, you only want the relationships. You want the desires and the plans and the ambitions and all of what God has for you. That's what you want. That's what it means when you say you want God. And listen to me, sisters and brothers. Who else will know exactly what is for you than the person who created you? You can't trust yourself. You cannot trust yourself. Put your trust in God. Surrender to God. It is in that place of surrender everything becomes clear. 1, 2, that's where you become empowered, because that is where you get to know who you are. That is where you get to understand. Listen, God was not the one who caused me to go through all of these things that I went through that weren't so pleasant, that were really hard. It's sin. It's sin and the choices that we made that were outside of his will. But when you sit back and you look at some stupid choices and decisions that you made, A lot of them out of ignorance, like you didn't really know. Because, we grow up in certain backgrounds, we grow up in certain families, we grow up in certain situations. And because they themselves don't know, they cannot teach you. And that's where the mercy and the grace of God comes in. The definition for mercy is that the things that you deserve, He doesn't give it to you. So all of those mistakes and those wrong decisions and those wrong steps you took, yes, there are consequences for them, but they could have actually taken you out, where then you did not get any chance to recover or any chance to realize that you did wrong. But when you don't know, God is such a merciful God. He is such a merciful God. When you don't know, yes, you may suffer consequences so that you know that that decision that you took was not the right one. But then He then continues and He guides you. And then there's this sort of protection that He protects you from. Right? He really protects you in His mercy from the real consequences of what that wrong decision was. But He didn't allow it to totally destroy you. What He did, like Tasha Cobb said, He gracefully broke you. So He broke you to mend you, basically. Because the you that was broken was not the real you. And so He took you apart so that He can put you back together the right way. Yes. So listen to me. Things become so clear in His presence. And when you push through, even when you don't feel like it, that's when He comes in, with His grace, and with His, like the flow and the help and the peace of His Holy Spirit to really then get you to where you need to be. Because then it's not just a surface thing, It's a spiritual thing. Yeah. This worship, this place of worship, which is sitting at the feet of God, which is just looking up on Him. It is so powerful. And listen, if you're not doing it, get into it. And I'm not talking, with church or your own personal space of worship. Do it every day. And you just watch. Just watch and see how your life change. You just watch and see how it all starts to make sense. He's such a faithful God, my brethren. And He is so worthy of it. All, sticking it out with Him, even when it doesn't make sense. Because it will come full circle. Sometimes in this life, but sometimes not. Sometimes today, sometimes next year, sometimes 10 years from now. So please, get into that place of worship. You will not regret it. God bless your family.